Hello, hello. I'm doing a sound check real quick. Sound check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, Ricky. Hey, what's up? Sound check good? Sound and vision. Sound okay. All right, cool. Hey, North. Hey, Hermit. Let's see if any of our other regulars popping in. Look, they had a new release just now on this thing here. The NTSB did. I started doing a video, and I said, you know what? I'll just do it live. We haven't talked to each other in a week, so we'll just go live. And we're going to hit this vortex measuring principle. I'm going to help explain what he does not explain. Tell me if I got to speak up too. Let me see if I can drop this down here. Slide it over a little bit to catch your comments if you have any. And I think I do that over here and that here. Okay. My note was flashing up and then vanished in a blink of an eye. Okay, Hermit, they don't want me to talk. You know, well, they don't like me. Google has been busted on that just this week. They came out where they had the big ass meeting, and they were talking about how they were crying when Donald Trump became president, how they were upset and all that big ass meeting, and they need to do something about it. That was interesting. All right, let's jump into this. So this is the last meeting they're going to have. They said the live meeting, and there's a few key points I'm going to hit on, and we'll jump on there. I hear crickets. Crickets. North. Test again. Test, test. Test, 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 test. Test again, and then I'll start. Test. Yep. Yeah. Also crickets. Oh, wait a minute. Sound check again. Oh, hey, Doss. Doss can hear me. You guys got to, Doss, what do they got to do? Redo, I think you did it last time. Told them to redo their window or something here. Reopen the window. Oh, plus crickets. That's the, wait a minute, let me see. Sounds like a fan. Hold on. Oh, it might be my computer below. Hold on. I got two computers on top of each other. Yeah, the computer below is on. Let me shut that one down. And this thing has got some heat on it. It was on top of another computer, so the fan's blowing in hard. Oh, somebody says, no, I mean real crickets. What the hell? I don't have my cricket video on the back, my cricket porn on, do I? No, I got my cricket porn. No, my cricket porn's not even on. Crickets. I got no ideas, guys. Let me see what's on. Let me kill this one. And let me kill, whoops, I won't need QuickTime anymore. Let me kill that one. And that's it. No, guys, that's my cricket porn. Must be on the background, like I said. So, crickets are gone. Okay. Cool. Then let's move on. So let's listen to this damn thing. And I'll tie into that. Oh, yeah. NTSB, right? They're supposed to have the report in already for the bridge collapse, but it's not here. I see crickets on that. I'll get to it, though. I'm already made a few phone calls out for that. Let me see. Here we go. Oops. What the hell? How do we mute that?
Investigation.
Whoa. Hold on, guys. Got a little... I don't want feedback. How the hell do we play this? Oh, I know. I had to put the earpiece in. I got it. Let me put the earpiece in, and then not the hairpiece, the earpiece. Then I can turn this up, and it goes I'm going
Yes.
to help explain what he does not explain.
Regarding one regulator.
Tell me if I got to speak up too. Let me see if I can drop this down here.
Feedback. Okay, let's let that play out. And we're going to do a test again. Let's see. Here we go. Which is located at Winthrop and South Union Streets.
My note was flashing up and then vanished in a blink of an eye. Okay, Hermit.
Okay. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, guys. I got the damn background one. That's the one I got to mute. This is the one I have to mute. Okay, that's muted. All right, now we're rocking. That's the one that gives me the feedback. If we figured it, I don't hear stream. Just shit. How do I do this? I can't see the bottom of the feed. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Let's just go here. Let's see if I can get this working now. To their customers. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and start it now. We'll start from scratch, and hopefully I can delete the first part of this video. Let's go. On Thursday afternoon, people have been referring to this as an overpressure situation, and the NTSB can confirm at this time that this was indeed an overpressure situation. By way of background, gas is supposed to flow to their customers at about 1/2 psi. We believe that the gas did indeed flow into homes at significantly greater flow rates and pressure. The real question for this investigation is to answer why this occurred. Yesterday, I mentioned that there were 14 regulators in this area, in these neighborhoods. 14 regulators. They are located in underground vaults. Okay, I'll get to it, guys. 14 regulators. Hold on. And let me tell you what we found today regarding one regulator, which is located at Winthrop and South Union Streets. We found that pressure sensors were connected to a pipe that was being taken out of service on Thursday. All right, so follow that. Pressure sensors were being taken on a pipe that was being taken out of service. To cut to the chase, on both ends of this pipe, it was already capped. And don't ask me why the fuck you'd cap both ends of a pipe. You got to do something with that gas that's still in the pipe. You're going to suck it out. So first off, I got a problem with that, his statement saying that both ends of the pipe were capped, but we'll move on. So let me explain the regulator. Basically, there's an underground regulator, and truthfully, it's two regulators, a primary and a backup. Here, now listen to this, guys. Remember I tell you guys, we all want to tell the truth. You just got to listen. He said the words truthfully. Bring back the crickets. I am speaking. You guys can hear me, right? Sound check. You can sound check. You can hear me because I heard the mic on. Bring back the crickets. So you can hear me. Testing again. Sound check. To take the pressure to fool the computer. Oh, Hermit, you're almost on it. You're almost on it, Hermit. Okay, cool. Sound is great. Thanks, Ricky. Hermit is like right on top of it almost. They didn't fake anything, but you'll find out. Watch. Back up. I'll just refer to it as the regulator. Natural gas flows into one side of the regulator at about 75 psi. By the time it goes through the regulator, let's back that up first. The regulator. Oh, basically, let's back it up, guys. And let me tell you what we found today regarding one regulator, which is located at Winthrop. And so first off, guys, if it's a backup system, you can't have this regarding one regulator. You would reference that as that system. The two regulators. Let me tell you what happened with one of the regulators of the pair. This is where you, but he's isolating it down to just one regulator, which I'm saying you can't isolate. And yet he's gonna. This is the way this conversation is gonna go, and I'll tell you why. So I'll tell you what happened.
but I'm trying to give you clues now, and then Herbie Hermit will jump to it before all of us, for you guys.
In South Union Streets. We found that pressure sensors were connected to a pipe that was being taken out of service on Thursday.
So pressure sensors, all right? So let's do this, and I'm letting that soak in, and that's why I want you guys to get ahead of his own wording, and you'll catch on. So I'm taking you to the vortex flow measure principle. This is kind of cool. It's only 4 minutes. You'll understand how they check this flow. This sensor, the meter he's talking about, it would be something like this. This is a proprietary brand, so it would be something on these lines. And hopefully I got the right video. I didn't rewatch this or watch it. I didn't watch this, rather pre-watch it. Pre-watch. Okay, follow this.
The most diverse substances are transported and distributed in piping systems every single day. They can include solvents and chemicals, oil and gas, coolants in primary industry, or steam for energy transmission. The fluids flowing through pipes often have completely different properties. Consequently, different principles for their measurement are required. One method is flow measurement based on the vortex principle.
So here's the meter, all right? This is the one that's going to be talking to those regulators. Now imagine, and I'm going to let you guys get ahead of yourselves a little bit. Imagine this is cut off. This will not read flow. I'm giving it away yet. You guys got to wait. I want you guys to catch on your own.
In 16th century Italy, Leonardo da Vinci observed how vortices form in flowing water. Some 400 years later, Hungarian physicist Theodor von Karman described the physical laws that govern how these vortices,
and so I'll ask you about Theodore later. No, I'm shitting you.
Take shape. Here's how this measurement method works. Inside each vortex flow meter, a bluff body is located in the middle of the pipe.
This thing here.
This body is a kind of obstruction that disturbs the flow.
I forgot what they call that guy. A bar. It's got its technical name to it. And he didn't use it. Damn it. I was hoping he would have. Shoot. Well, moving on.
Downstream from the bluff body is a mechanical sensor which can register the tiniest pressure differences in the flowing fluid. If the fluid is not flowing, no vortices form.
Follow that. If the fluid is not flowing, no vortexes form. You're going to see vortexes on here. That would tell, I don't want to give it away yet. Hopefully you guys are catching on.
As soon as the fluid starts to move and reaches a certain flow rate,
see this?
Vortices gradually appear downstream of the bluff body. These vortices are detached alternately on either side of the bluff body and are carried away by the flowing fluid. Zones of high or low pressure now appear downstream and thus create a phenomenon
that's what you're reading, the high and low pressures.
That is known as the Karman vortex street. These differences in pressure exactly match the frequency of the passing vortices and are precisely registered by the mechanical sensor, shown here in slow motion. This sensor is unique because it's inherently so well balanced that pipe-borne vibrations of up to 1 G, pressure surges, and temperature shocks have no effect whatsoever on the measurement. The distance between two consecutive vortices corresponds to a defined volume of fluid. Therefore, total flow can be calculated by counting the vortices that pass.
All right, so now you guys understand that. You don't need to hear the rest. So now you understand that. Let's go on. 75 pounds. You are perfect. Yep, okay. Sound is great. 75 pounds is nothing. So it's PSIG, pounds per square inch gas. So he's going to not say gas. He's going to just use PSI, which is not the same. Some very old systems have neighborhood regulators. If this fails, there may be nothing but the appliance regulator. Right, but we still got the house regulator is going to hit first. This is what I'm going to show that he's going to dance around that. I've never heard of any neighborhood regulator. We have them by the meters. I'm here late. Why are we looking at vortex flow meters? By the way, 1 bar equals 14.7 pieces. Embry, we're looking at it because the NTSB just released, and I want people to guess ahead of time where I'm going to go with this, so you can guess how the failure happened. He's not going to state it, but he does state it with the evidence. And so you missed that there are two that they've already gone to the vault. Here's the link to it. That they've already gone to the vault. The vault. That's what they refer to them as, where they have the two the regulators. When he's referring to one regulator, it appears per his statement that they use two regulators. One is a primary and one is a backup. They also have stated that they're now capping one of the pipes. They're capping it, and the sensor gauge was still connected to the one they were capping. Here we go. Here, let's start here. I'll back it up a little bit.
In these neighborhoods, 14 regulators. They are located
okay, you are, Embry.
in underground vaults.
It's the third NTSB briefing. Last
and
one.
Let me tell you what we found today regarding one regulator, which is located at Winthrop and South Union Streets.
I like to look up that Winthrop and South
We found that pressure sensors were connected to a pipe that was being taken out of service on Thursday. So let me explain the regulator. Basically, there's an underground regulator, and truthfully, it's two regulators, a primary and a backup. I'll just refer to it as the regulator. Natural gas flows into one side of the regulator at about 75 psi. By the time it goes through the regulator, it's supposed to come out at 1/2 psi. A low gas pressure situation.
So the problem I have with that already, he says it comes out at 1/2 psi on the other side of that regulator there. Well, that would mean that we all have getting serviced in the neighborhood with a 1/2 psi. And that's what we need also pretty much to run our PSIG, to run our systems. So you could see that would be, you would need a lot of mass, a lot of pipe to keep everybody balanced. No, you have to have more flow to compensate for what's needed in each home. Not 75, obviously. But here we go here. Let's let him finish talking. So he's got that wrong already, but here we go.
Is not a good situation. A low pressure is not a good situation for a gas utility company, because if it gets too low, you lose service to the customers. Pilot lights go out, and it is quite an effort to go around and relight hundreds, if not thousands, of pilot lights. So that's a situation they don't want to occur. So there are pressure sensors, flow sensors, that monitor the downstream pressure and flow rate from these regulators.
All right, so that's what I showed you. That wrote, so that's what I showed you this, that it's that this is downstream as he stated, and it's going to respond back to the regulator to tell it, hey, you can open up a little more. I guess I shouldn't have said that yet. I was letting you guys trying to guess it. Let's keep going.
If the flow rate and pressure get too low, it will signal to the regulator to open up the valve to allow more flow.
Now, the problem with that, he just said the regulator was set at a 1/2 psi. He says psi, 1/2 psi. Well, how can you open it up more if you only got 1/2 psi? So if you're only allowing 1/2 psi, he says it comes in at 75 and lets out half on the other side. So right there, his statement doesn't make sense. The meter, so downflow tells it to signal more flow. It can't do more flow if you just told me it's set to put a 1/2 psi on the other side. There is no way to increase flow unless you can change the pressure, the amount the regulator will allow to come through. So already that's his own statement against his own statement.
Monitor the downstream pressure and flow rate from these regulators. If the flow rate and pressure get too low, it will signal to the regulator to open up the valve to to allow more flow.
He can't do. So you see the problem with his statement already? This guy doesn't know what the frick he's talking about. Very nervous. So he just said it only puts half out on the other 75 coming in and puts half out. How can it allow more flow? Okay, here we go. If it's short. So that's one fuck up on his part. Now he's going to make some more. Here we go.
It is like the thermostat in your home for heating. If the temperature sensor senses that the temperature is too cold, what does it do? It sends a signal to turn on the heat. That's what happens here. If the system senses that the pressure or the flow rate is too low, it sends a signal to open up the regulator to allow a higher pressure and greater flow rate.
Now he's changed it. Now he added to allow higher pressure and greater flow rate. Did you hear that? Now he says that. But a moment ago, he said that it only lets out half PSI on the other side. Regulators have a pilot, but this guy don't know shit. I'd embarrass him person. Good job, Henry.
Right.
Here we go.
We found evidence from an evidentiary dig this morning that pressure sensors that were attached to a gas line were actually attached to a gas line that was being capped off and taken out of service on Thursday. So let me repeat.
So they were working on this gas line Thursday, guys. Wasn't Explosion Thursday? Was it? When was Explosion? Can you guys give me a date? Was it Thursday or was it Friday? I'm confused now on the date. But it was being taken out of service. Can you guys, somebody tell me before I get to it? It was Thursday. And here's that regulator. Wow, it's one hell of a regulator, isn't it, guys? Jumping all around here. It handles a nice neighborhood. Now, per the NTSB, we're going to jump into that real quickly. These guys saying that this town right here is controlled by a guy in Ohio. Of course, I think that's bullshit. And now we know, and I knew it was bullshit when he said it because of the regulators. And now clearly this is a regulator, but he's still going to talk about, we're going to question the guy in Ohio. Yeah, the guy in Ohio 3 weeks ago turned up the pressure, and 3 weeks later it caused all of this blowout. Amazing, isn't it? It's not possible. It's not. I mean, it's possible. You'd have to have no regulators working at these pipes, and then that Ohio would have to be dedicated to, from Ohio to this one area here, because it's the one that experienced the problems. Would have to be dedicated pipes down to this area only. No branches off anywhere else. It's just BS, guys. That's just BS. So 3 days ago, well, maybe it was Friday then. So he said Thursday. That's more like it. Could he have meant it cuts the pressure in half? It was worded ambiguously. That's more like it, Rick. So the sensor was still hooked up to the removed pipe. That's right, Rick. Run with it. Run with what you're saying here, Rick. Hermit O Guide, sounds like it. A pilot sensing line will regulate to the set pressure under any load. Full steam ahead. No, Rick, come on. You guys have enough right now to give me the answer before we can hear anything else. You guys have enough to give me the answer what happened. We're only 4:20 into it. Rick, Hermit, you want another tip? You want another tip on this? Okay. I just showed you how the regulator works, right? And he stated how he theorized it works, but he's okay with that. Let's go with what he's saying there. We can make that work. So what do you know? They were working on a pipe. The sensor was connected to a pipe they were disconnecting. What do you know about? Hermit says, I got it. Come on, Hermit, tell me. I don't want to give it away, guys. So what do you know? What would this sensor be telling the regulator if you were to cap this end and cap this end? What would this sensor tell the regulator to do? What would it do? Well, I would hope, here's the thing about it. I would hope there would be another regulator on here for the other sensor. But it appears that both regulators are connected to the same sensor. This is what the problem is, I think. He's not letting on to that at all. But I'm thinking both regulators are connected to the same sensor, guys. There's only one damn sensor, both regulators. So there's redundancy in the regulators, but there's no redundancy in the sensors. So one sensor says no flow. It tells, and it's two pipe, the capping off a pipe. It says to the regulator, we've got no flow. And it says no flow. Let's go ahead and increase some pressure. Although it should really, theoretically, it's almost say, well, there's no demand. But it's reading the flow wrong or something. Somehow this is reading the flow wrong, and it's saying we need more pressure to. We need to open up the regulator because our demands. We're not doing anything. Somehow this. I don't know what kind of regulator you're using. You saw the way this one works, but their sensor told that regulator to open up more, increase the volume, and it still couldn't get a reading. So I theorize now that it just said, what the fuck, man? Let's just blast this shit out. We need more. Wow, these people down here are running everything like the wintertime or something like that. But here's my catch-22 of that. If there's a broken gas pipe down there, right? This flow is amazing. And so your broken gas pipe would actually demand more flow to feed the broken gas pipe. That's the way these things go until you shut them off. But it all depends how they connect it. That's a flow meter. Open the regulator that was in service. Well, it's getting I think they're meeting the same one. They're missing crucial details like a pipe. Yeah, that's true, Embry. But here we go.
Let me repeat that. We found evidence from an evidentiary dig this morning that pressure sensors were attached to a gas line that was being placed out of service and being capped off on Thursday.
So they don't ask it in the audience, but I would have said, wait a minute. So they were connected, but was it functional? So what? It was connected. Was it functional? Don't leave me because I'm making this video. So on the flip side of that, also, me, guys, I always open for data. Flip side of that, I'm like, well, so what? It was connected. Was it functional? And he doesn't state that.
Certainly, the investigation will answer two questions. What effect, if any,
flow itself says nothing about pressure.
did this have on the overpressure situation? And secondly, why was this sensor connected to a gas line that was being placed out of service?
Okay, so they want to know that. But Jenny didn't say, well, their sensor was functional. So what? It was connected. So I need to know the extra detail of that. But let's go on.
Just for your information, the regulator that's in the ground is located at South Union and Winthrop Street. There was a construction site where they were capping off.
And remember, guys, he keeps calling it regulator. And remember, everybody wants to tell you the truth. Now, there's a primary and a secondary one here. But he said he's just going to call them regulator. I don't like the changing of that because we got two regulators. So you just can't call it regulator. And he knows damn well he saw both regulators, and he knows that one was functional and one was not. And he's not making it clear that which one was functioning at that time. Which one took the primary, was the primary, the original primary one, did it become secondary and the next one kicked in? That would give us the whole answer. Why the fuck does the NTSB play these fucking games, man? There you go.
Bring off this pressure line about 7 of service. Just for your information, the regulator that's in the ground is located at South Union and Winthrop Street. There was a construction site where they were capping off this pressure line about 7 blocks away at South Union and Salem Streets.
So 7 blocks away were they capping it off.
So that's one thing that we've done today. Among other things, we've been conducting interviews for the last 2 days. Yesterday and today, we've interviewed various personnel from the fire services, from the 3 communities involved. We've interviewed construction crews from the South Union and Salem Street construction site. In the coming days, we will interview the construction foreman in charge of the job at South Union and Salem. We will interview the Columbia Gas inspector who oversees this construction crew. We will interview the Columbia Gas Pipeline Safety Supervisor. And we will interview the 4 people from the gas control center that I mentioned yesterday that is in Columbus, Ohio.
To restore natural,
we are also
the first thing
in the
you may
process of obtaining complete records and logs from the gas control center in Columbus to find out exactly what the indications may have been.
So again, he's going all the way to Columbus, Ohio to get pissed off. Columbus, Ohio wouldn't know jack shit about an explosion happening down there. They would just keep the supply going. There has to be redundancy in sensors. Otherwise, a faulty sensor reading low. All right, Rick, you can say has to logically.
Now, in general terms, the increased pressure occurred right after 4 o'clock on Thursday. The system is showing right now, our preliminary time hack on that is at 4:04 Thursday afternoon, and it slowly decreased to 0 by about 8 p.m. During the course of our investigation, we will nail down those exact times. We are certainly interested in understanding why some homes exploded while others did not. And as a part of our investigation, the Massachusetts Department of Public Utilities is conducting an inventory of the houses in the area. They will be looking at the type of appliances and the age of appliances. These are items that use gas.
Now he's pushing it on to the homes. See, guys, he went right to the homes. But what he left out was that to get to the home, you got to first go through another regulator. This is the meter to read your usage. But here's your regulator. There's the vent. This should be venting out. Here's your supply coming in. That's your shut-off valve that would be locked out. It comes in. It goes through here, back out, and into your meter to give you your volume, your readings. And this is the vent to go out. Now, this regulator, and I couldn't find out what it fails at. Say it's designed to take, you're only expecting maximum 4 psi G in here, right? Let's just call it that. Well, you all of a sudden send 75 psi G in here. It can't, the volume can't even go through this little ass pipe to run around here to work its way out. So some of it comes out through the pipe, and at that much pressure, it also, starts filling the voids. It comes through here, comes to the meter, blows into the home at the furnace, at the, maybe it even causes a gasket to feel the vent in here somehow. I don't see that happening because these are screwed pretty damn tight. I'm taking a look in those guys. I don't see that 75 psi G blowing through here. But I see that this might, even with a vent going outside, this might not be enough. That it would still, that much volume of gas and pressure would then allow it to come into the home. Now you start blowing out your pilots because it was way excessive. The little pilot's gas that needed. It's needed the little air pressure that's needed to keep the pilot lit. Now it blows past that. Well, first it goes through a regulator there. That regulator can't even hold it. Now, I've played around with regulators. I can tell you 100% that if you get rid of this and you run gas directly from one of these lines into a regulator of a stove, you'll hear it just blow past that regulator. Air is just blowing right through. I played around with that. Not tonight. That was friggin' a couple years back with some stuff I'm playing around with. To wonder, know, what would with this, what would happen? That's my what if stuff I do. So that's 100%. It will blow past that little silly ass regulator you've got on the stove, and it will blow past your furnace regulator. The length of pipe didn't help it out or anything else. It just blew past those regulators. You need your house regulator to still handle it, to drop down this pressure to handle the house, even with a furnace. And that house had 650,000 BTUs requirement, and yet it only used a 3/4 inch supply pipe for it. So it was that's a point I'm making. So there we go. So this is inside. This gets into the house. Even with this here, it's blowing past. It's filling in. If it didn't blow past this, it would just go out, vent outside through this pipe, and the gases would build outside. And there's so much oxygen out there, you're not going to get your air quality, your oxygen levels down to get your explosion. But this inside the house would build up the volume. And since it's all happening at one time, that regulator all of a sudden kicks out, or rather the major volume of air of gas pressure. And I forget where he said it was, Batman Street or something like that. Anyway, that it's going to blow out and start supplying all of the neighborhood, everyone. But now some that fail and some don't. Maybe some people only had, you look at the neighboring houses, I would say would be really, really cool. But all of these fires happened at once, right? The explosions and all. So all is built up. And think of it as a balloon. A home is a balloon. Putting the engineering hat on, it's like a balloon, and they're all filling up. And now you need an ignition source. Could be a light switch, the doorbell ringing, things like that. That's why they don't ring your doorbell when you report a gas leak. They'll come and knock, but no doorbell. The electric spark would do it. So it all depends where each explosion started. If you, for my house, let's see, the best place for it to go would be the basement. I have a kitchen down there also. It's in a confined place, doors closed, so that gas could build up. It could, but then now we need a spark still, right? So what? The gas builds up. You still need a spark, and you just need to introduce that spark somehow. Can it go all around the electrical panel? Sure can. There's no issue with that. You need a spark, so the compartment has to, get down, I don't know, 5%, 4% gas, oxygen saturation, and then a spark is needed. And these other houses just didn't meet that criteria. It does not mean that they didn't have fucking house full of gas. These things could have been full. Oh, they probably were. Based on this, all these houses probably were just blasting with gas, depending on which appliance they had. As I just said, my heater, I got a 65,000 BTU heater, but it's off now, so it wouldn't even be called for. Well, I literally turn off the valve, but maybe some people don't turn off their furnace. That's going to give you, once it blows past that regulator, that's going to introduce the most gas into the compartment, the basement, or whatever room it's in at. Let's move on to this, and I'll look at the comments in a second.
In a home, things like a furnace, a stove, an oven, a hot water.
Those are going to give you the highest volume of the regulator. It's going to have the highest demands. That piping will have the highest demand. So when it blows past those regulators, it's also going to have the highest supply of gas into the home.
A water heater. We will want to know whether or not these systems had a pilot light or whether they had electronic ignition system.
So would an electronic ignition system make a difference? Well, it's blowing past the regulators. The regulators are not strong enough to hold it. Remember, I tested this with the stove. That did have a pilot system, the one I tested it with. So for clarity of statement with you guys. But the electronic one is still a regulator. And it's not, I don't think it's any stronger. I think it's just, there's probably equivalent. The electronic ignition part is all you're doing. You're lighting the click, click. Some of them do shut off fully and come back on fully. But you're blowing past the damn regulator. So to me, it doesn't make a difference whether it's an old one or a new one. Now that we have this data.
Systems. And we will, of course, want to see if there's any correlation between these data points and the explosions.
So he wants to know if there's any correlation between these data points and the explosion. No, they're not fucking related. It's the guy in Ohio who did it. You know, go lock his ass up. He did all this. This guy friggin' triggers me.
And I certainly want to thank the state for their doing this tedious but very important work. Now, many of you want to know if it's safe to return to your home.
That's a wrap of that. He's just going to yabber on now. I'd imagine that. Wait a minute, let me go up. Natural gas rises, unlike propane. Go gas, go boom. I used to sit next to a major natural gas trader. When he purchased a new house, he paid $20,000 plus to remove the natural gas lines from his house, all the way back to the street. Damn. The vent is in case of diaphragm failure. That's right. Yep. So there's a diaphragm in each one of these regulators, as Embry said. This is the diaphragms in here. It's not much. It looks like a little black, very, very gentle black flapper, toilet flapper, if you can imagine that, something like that. Very thin, very delicate, exacting tool, if you would. And he's right about the diaphragm. So now, lock up the regulator. It is known that this model Rockwell regulator was installed here. Yeah, Embry. Yeah, we're gonna find the data points, and then we're gonna blame it on the regulators, because the regulators should have taken 75 pounds PSI. Now, with that said, I played around with different regulators to see if I could work with that stove. Oh, hell no, guys! You got to get the right regulator, or it's blowing past that too. So if you get the wrong this thing right here, based on where you live, you get the wrong regulator, and this gas is blowing past this regulator. It's going right past her again. I know. I got the wrong regulator on a job before. So literally it blew past it. And that's when I started playing around with that experiment. From that point, I was in for a penny. I was in for a pound at that point. Yes, yeah. So appliance regulators are different regulators. They're very small. They're in line. And so Embry is referring to he's referring to these guys here. They're in line. It blows past this now. If you overpressure this, you can change the settings in here. But if you overpressure it, it's just going to come out the other side. This diaphragm won't be able to restrict that flow, and it comes out the other side. You know that it's always flowing if you have a pilot, that this does allow some gas to leak through, if you will, leak through. It's no leak at all. It's an intended amount of air, gas that's allowed to come through. You can change this to gas to propane by flipping over opening this up. I did a video on my other channel on that, and flipping over the head of it. Did that, I don't know, a few years back, playing around with it. Appliance regulators are different regulators. The vent in case of diaphragm, right? Natural gas rising like propane. Yeah, I'd imagine the increase of that. Not at all. Those pipes are going to take that. Those pipes aren't going to leak it all. Well, 75 psi. So it could take hundreds of. So let's see. Let me show you. No, I'm not going to show you. That goes nowhere. Look, you're going to take hundreds of psi on that pipe. If you can just think of it as literally auto mechanics using using it for the air piping systems. Jeff, you'll see that you're into hundreds of psi. This is not an issue. Lower explosive level is like 4%. Thanks, Embry. What did I say? 4%, something like that. Hermit, methane is 70%, isn't it? Methane. So we don't know what their mixture of gas is either. These different suppliers have their different mixes too. So you look up, they got a winter mix maybe and a summer mix. So this mix might be more volatile at this point. I don't know their mix. Or is that hydrogen? 705 would be way over the explosive level. Not state, Commonwealth. Anything could be an ignition source. Relay contact. Yep, I like that. Motor brushes. Well, the one guy killed the one boy, blew himself up, right? He didn't do it on purpose. Electronic ignition pilot. That's interesting, Rick. What an electronic. So it got blown out, right? Would the electronic igniter try to restart itself to run the pilot on a gas water heater, an automatic of a newer heater? I really like that, Rick, on that one. I don't know, guys. I don't know if the new ones automatically light themselves. I've got a new one down there, and I don't know if I lit it. I don't recall if I manually had to do it. So it blows out, right? It's in on position. And you blow it out in on position. Normally, you got to turn it back to pilot to get things to work again. It blows out on the on position as Rick's working, a brand new one. It's got an automatic, and so the water temperature gets cold because it doesn't know what gas is leaking around it. It's shut off. It's automatic igniter, right? So it shuts off. The water gets cold. It then it sends out a click. Oh, I like that, Rick. So then you would look for newer electronic water heaters in all these houses. Now, no offense, they look like poor poverty type people if you saw them walking, and they're homeless type people. So I don't know if these homeowners, the tenants, or the owners are coughing up that much money for electronic ignition system. Quite a few $100 for the step up, but possibly. How many were killed? I think one so far. I think only 17. What was that? I lost it. A 17-year-old boy, right? Damn, I need to make sure I have redundant regulators. Meter, furnace, water heater. No, it won't work, Rick. Oh, you mean to make sure that they're there, Rick? They're there. They don't run straight in. It's there. It's there. It's oxygen levels, Rick. It's oxygen, and you still need the ignition source. So, if you, as you just said of your own thing, if you got the automatic igniter, yeah, that could blow you up in the middle of the night, right? Schedule 40 casting fittings are rated at 124 psi. Cast fittings. So you're saying, Embry is saying that 3/4 inch. Embry, I got that higher than that. I don't know off the top of my head. 3/4 inch steel pipe. PSI rating. But here's the burst pressure, and of course we're way above 12 more rows. Can't get the 12 rows. But here's our operating pressure, as Embry just said, and here's our burst pressure. As you can see, it's a huge difference. It's the factors, and I can't get it to show, but I don't know what anyway, you're not getting it. You're not getting it with the existing pressure that they're claiming was put out in those pipes, 75. I did see the firemen removing regulators off the homes, and they were exteriorly mounted. I would love to know if, like this home, if I was trying to find an address of any of these, I couldn't find a single address. Basically, I was going to Google search and see if the regulators were outside. So regulators sometimes are in the front of the house, side of the house, and back of the house. But I couldn't find that. And it wouldn't matter because I'm showing that I'm stating that even if they were outside, it can blow past that regulator because of the volume of that it couldn't. That 3/4 inch pipe is just taking all that volume. It's just blasting, and we know that it was putting out some serious friggin' pressure. Look at this. I mean, look. I mean, all these homes you figure were taking that gas, and these are the ones with ignition sources. The need in ignition sources. So when I say that, I can say that as a fact. I hate using the word fact, but I can say it as a fact that they all had ignition sources. Because you can give me all the gas and oxygen you want. I didn't say pressure. You can't have pressure on me. You can give me all the gas and oxygen you want inside a home, and you're not going to get a fire. I still need the ignition. Now what we got here? Schedule 40, because pressure can create a spontaneous combustion. What's up? Up or down? What's up, Blondie? They use carbon dioxide, inert gas, to raise the pressure in periods of high demand. So Embry looked that up. Cool, Embry. Oh, you knows your stuff. I didn't know that, Embry. I did not know that. That's kind of cool. And I lost your comment. Jeff R. It would. Someone got killed by a chimney falling on them. Oh, wow. The chimney blew up because it was full of gas. Oh. I left 45 minutes from there. Yeah, Blondie, you said that. Go drive over there, man. Get us some video. And show us some bodies, too. I don't care if you go anywhere. Go to the graveyard and show us some bodies. Remember, that's fraud, selling CO2 for the price of fuel. Ooh. I like Herman's thinking. I can tell you this from personal experience back in my party days. Lawrence is the place where everyone from my state, New Hampshire, goes to get drugs. Oh, well, that settles that, didn't it, Blind, what I said about that neighborhood? Cash fittings not forged. Lawrence is filled with Dominicans. Or Democrats. I'm just teasing. It's a case. Oh, it's a gas. The gas line has a regulator right before the meter. Right. But if you go watch the beginning of this video, Blonde, and bring it up, you'll see that the pressure would blow through there. And I played with the gas. I played with this before, a regulator. I got regular house pressure to blow through, going directly to a stove. That I got it to blow through. I didn't do it intentionally. I was trying to just have a little fun, see what would happen with the gas regulator. Stop that pressure. Nope, did not stop that pressure. Oh, in fact, I played around a little more. I dialed down the. I took the main shut off. I closed it back. Didn't make a difference. It couldn't handle it. Even though I turned the flow down, the pressure was still there, and it just backed up the pressure, and ultimately still gave me the same blowing through the regulator. So it didn't work. Oh, and it had a shutoff valve at the appliance too, at the stove I was playing with. I even dialed that back. So 2 shutoff valves being dialed back didn't help diddly. Regulators failed in age order. See, I don't. Is suspected the home regulators failed in age order. No, Herman, I don't think that a regulator is everything ages, right? So I'm saying no, but I can't discount age. Things fail. But what you're saying is that all these died from age relations. They're all age related. And I said something like that initially about let's try to figure it out. Let's just flow. Let's get the age in that. But now I've got more clarity. I'm not full of gas. And no. All right. So age order. Problem hermit. Grew up in utilities meter shop. I feel sorry for you, Embry. So you ever play with overgassing one of them, Embry? You ever play with adding too much gas to one and watch it blow through? You would think the gas company would have emergency main line over pressure valve. Well, Jeff, I'm thinking that it didn't know a difference. It just thought that it was wintertime. So it got the signal and said, "Hey, it's wintertime. You know, people need more gas," and it just increased the volume. And that was too much volume for the regulators to take. Actually, the New York State Public Service Commission allows up to 8% CO2 gas. Well, how you like that, Embry? Rick, ignitable would depend on gas concentrations, would it? Yes. And that's what Embry and I were talking about. I said 5.4, and Embry clarified it's 4%. Like air gas and car engine. Yeah, well, it's the vapors. The vapors when you're talking in here, the vapors are gonna. So that would and the vapors are what you're igniting. I watched a guy do a bet on one of the job sites. He poured some. He said to the guys that, like in the movies where they smoke the cigarette and they pluck it into the gas and it blows up. Well, this guy made, I don't know, $80 that day because he told everybody he doubled their money. He doubled their money. He'd pour gas on. He'd pour gas out, and he would throw his cigarette down on it, and it wouldn't ignite. Now I've thrown down gas, and you can come back quite a few minutes later, and the vapors are there, and throw a match down, and that shit will light up. But his argument, his statement was a cigarette is what the movies show. And a cigarette wouldn't ignite those. Well, we're talking about vapors. He's talking about gas. I knew that really we were talking about igniting that vapors. I stayed out of it because I just didn't like this guy's confidence on it. And I don't smoke, so I never had an opportunity to take a cigarette and throw it down there. But I watched everybody lose $80 because that son of a bitch laid down that gas and went up there with his hand, no fear at all. Put the cigarette out in the gas. It's not enough. That cigarette didn't. It looks like it's got some heat on it, right? But it doesn't. It's no heat on that damn flame. It's a fake flame, if you will, fake heat. You know, it's not enough ignition source. You try, guys, if you smoke, and you'll see that it's not going anywhere. I don't know how much vapor would. I mean, he was right over the vapor. When he goes down that close, he was over the vapor. I worked on power plant boilers for over 1,000 years. Damn, Embry, that's good. I have a truck over 1,000 years. Wow, he's got a truck over 1,000 years old. It takes a flame. Wow, to light it. Gasoline takes a flame unless it is compressed like in an engine. Cigarettes a lot cooler than flame, right, Hermit? Well, that guy wanted you can and I played around with other people on the job site smoking. I said, you got to put that cigarette out, and I'll pour some gas out for fun, and I make sure the container's away, right? And I go put it out in the gas thing. People were backing away, running away, and I'm like, what are you doing? I'm just putting it out. I'm using this gas to put your cigarette out. And they laughed their ass off. That guy did that trick, man. That was awesome. I know you said horsepower, man. I'm trolling you. I'm trolling you, blind. Smokers pass gas and don't blow up. Yeah. So, oh, it's over here then. Let me show you my little. That's not Mother Channel. So, changing the regulator, changing a gas stove propane. Let's try this. I don't even know what I titled it, but let's see if it pops up. Yeah, that's me being crazy. Right here. Oh, that's not me. Damn, it's another guy. Thought that was me. I did mine outside. See, flipping it over. And I was just, and it's just what they're doing there, flipping it over. I guess you don't get to see mine then. Thought that was my old stove that I used. It was for some photography stuff to do cooking outside, taking a little mini gas stove out and setting it up outside and doing a whole little setup. But all this stuff is regulated. That's a regulator right there. That's a regulator. Ah, this guy's got a regulator diagram.
Installation mistake. The failure to adjust the regulator output pressure when installing a new regulator or replacing an existing regulator.
So here's the this appears to be like a house regulator. There's your vent here. There's your flow coming in. And let's let him run his thing.
When installing a new regulator, there must be gas flowing through the valve. A regulator cannot be accurately set up against a deadhead or a shutoff valve. To adjust the regulator output pressure, rotate the spring ferrule clockwise to increase pressure and counterclockwise to decrease pressure. Do not rely on the regulator to come preset. You will still need to check the set point and possibly make final adjustments with gas flowing through the valve. Also, if the regulator is relocated or the orientation is changed from a vertical position to a horizontal position, the regulator set point must be rechecked and possibly readjusted. I hope you find this tech tip helpful, and remember, our product specialists at Gasco are ready to help you with all of your regulator needs.
Okay. There you go. You got to go with Gasco, whatever the guy said. All right, so there we are. There we are. This is just an appliance regulator. Let's go, Gasco, same company. Let's hear what they say about their venting. I want to see if he gives us a default.
Hello, my name is Warren Hill, and I'm a product specialist at Gasco. Gasco, in an effort to better educate our customers and add additional value, has developed a best practices training series. Our intentions are to better explain, better educate, and to ensure a helpful understanding of what gas regulators are and discuss their normal operation. Gasco represents three major manufacturers of combustion gas regulators. They are Sensus Metering Systems, Pietro Fiorentini, and Maxitrol. In this series, we hope to answer any questions that you might have. Line.com. In this gas regulator education segment, we will be discussing common regulator venting issues. Venting requirements and codes vary from state to state, county to county, and in many areas, suburb to suburb. So always follow local code requirements in venting regulators.
Now, I was able to find it. This is the one they use up there, a style like this. I saw the firemen taking it apart.
Vents not only provide a leak path for the gas when a regulator fails, it also allows the diaphragm to breathe and function properly. If a vent is restricted, a gas regulator's performance will be adversely affected and tend to be very sluggish, hunt, or not properly control the downstream pressure.
Oh, that's interesting. Right. So I didn't even think about that all those homes could have bad vents, even clogged vents. You know, end sections, things like that. Normally, you put these little screens on them. I don't see them. But there we go.
With venting, it is not the amount of air that is being moved through the vent line. It is that the air has to be moved effortlessly with no restriction of movement of the diaphragm. All manufacturers are hesitant to put anything in writing regarding regulator venting. But when you start applying math to the pressure drop aspect of the line venting, the following can be used as guidelines assuming a 1-inch regulator vent connection. Never reduce the vent piping size from that of the connection on the regulator. The NFPA code states that the regulator vent line must be connected to the regulator vent connection no smaller than what the manufacturer's connection size is. So all measurements start at the regulator vent connection. So from 0 to 15 feet, no increase in vent line is required. So from 15 to 30 feet, we increase one nominal line size to 1.25 inches.
Mm-hmm.
From 30 to 45 feet, we're going to increase 2 nominals or 1 inch.
Wow, that opens up a lot more to the venting being a part of participant on this. You know, these homes and what my man said, Dominican homes or homes that are questionable in the area that ultimately don't get the upgrades, right? The upkeeps. Let's dump that. Where are you guys hiding at? Where are you? I like reading about narcissism and stuff like that. I lost you. I'll find you. Go back one more. Keto diet. Okay. Looks like I shut you down. Give me a second to load you back up. YouTube. Lawrence, right, there we go. YouTube. Lost you. I got you now. Right angle style. Do it, North. You're going to win. Going fishing. Full screen. All those houses on fire most likely have had a standing pilot as an ignition source. But my man, Rick put that up, cognitive, and it might blow past the autopilot ones also. It's going to be stuck in the on position. It's going to allow, it doesn't matter if it's on position or not. It's going to blow right past it. Could be CD, but not all houses in there full of gas, are they? These regulators for medical classes. Lockup regulator. Hey, Embry says he's a regulator man. It's a lockup regulator. Embry, do they have one that would be mechanical or not so? These are mechanical. No, you just wouldn't get it, would you? Even if it was like a metal door that could take 75, it would have to take 75 PSIG, right? So, do they have one, Embry? Will they invent one after this? I wonder. Do they have one? If they did, Embry, I think I would tell my gas company I'd want that. But they own the damn meter out there. You couldn't even change it out. I don't know if you could change it inside though and legally be okay. Regulator on top of regulator. Let me think about that. Regulator behind a regulator. Two regulators in line. Okay. So if I regulate, if a regulator is calibrated with the gas main being at say 50%, well, and the 10 psi for the mains. Well, that's too big of a drop for the simple. Well, we don't get that from the street. Here, let's see if I can get you a. Let's see, Pennsylvania. Let's do Philadelphia. Philadelphia. Street gas pressure. Homes. See, we got a regular comparing this. 2017. Let's see what they're posting now. Underground system that operated pressure is equal to or less. See, I told you guys 5 PSIG. He said half. Well, around here, that's why I said the 5 PSIG. But he's referring to it's half PSI. This Grimley. I was making fun of his name, right? Grimler, the Grim Weeper, the Grimmer. So you've heard me say this in a previous video about 4 or 5 PSIG. And here it is, underground system operated pressure equal to or less than maybe constructed of approved steel glass. So we're down here. So that when you said this 50, you're nowhere near. So these numbers don't work. You know, the valve wouldn't work if you had a 50 psi regulator on it. It'd step down to 10, Blondie. That you would be installing that the gas pressure that you would be receiving wouldn't even be able to open your regulator or get your wouldn't be able to flow. because you're not even in a range of it, and it regulates for 10 psi the main spike. But so now if you imagine if I'm way down there only ready to deal with 5 psi, and you hit me with 70, everything I'm set for, you're just gonna blow past it. It's good night, sweet prince. It's like tough shit. Now this is testing the pipe. They're testing at 90 psi. Let's see, the time pressure shall be how many minutes? 90 psi. Shit. Right. You got to hold it for 24 hours. And I think I did a video of this. I'll show you where I actually have that. And I said shit, but actually I've already seen it. With an improved record gauge and shall be raised 90 psi. The test I've seen was mercury, and it was done 15 minutes. Those are repairs just from the street with a time pressure test. 90 psi, pipe 50 feet. So here's the size. This is the main piping in the street. Pipe length 50 feet, 2 inches smaller. So let's do this. A regulator. Next rules and regulations. How about meter? EGW meter. Yeah, that's inside the house, so they don't completely deal with that. The regulations pertain to a portion of the underground piping downstream. Okay. And that's because of the gas. If it starts venting, they want to know the gas is going to work its way back inside the house. But if there's no other choice, and that's the location, then they'll let you do that. They'll probably make you use a vent pipe around the window, or put the vent pipe in the configuration. Or they probably just say, oh, you're okay. You just walk away. Meters cannot be placed under a carport roof, awning, or overhang larger than a standard eave. So a standard eave can be out to 2 feet. So whatever that, there we go. That is what I would consider maximum standard. An electric meter or electric equipment, air conditioning compressor unit. Okay, so here's ignition source stuff they're talking about. Electric meter or electric equipment, air conditioning compressor. It can't be replaced within that because that's got your ignition source. All right, we're about done. Gas main risers, 2 inch of length, greater than 100 feet. Diameter 2 inches, greater than 2 inches, or length greater than 100 feet. That's major pipe. Okay, that's probably underground diameter. It's probably underground stuff. Diameter of the pipe, yep. Or it could be like a laundromat, something like that, or restaurant. Diameter of the pipe. It's customer side, customer side. That's what I'm guessing. And we're done with that. All right, where'd you go? Yeah, but you figure there's no heat going on now, Hermit. We're in summertime here, so no heat there. But the air conditioner kicking on could do it. Tempting to kick on. Okay. Yeah, the air conditioning attempting to kick on could do it. That's what we just read there. Probably it's probably the same one because that company is really they keep calling it that one company. It's really something the gas company. Found that through someone suing them, and then they kicked him out of court, federal court, because he called it what Grimley is calling it, Grimwall, the NTSB. He's calling it that name. That's a doing business as. That is not the company name. Their real legal company's name. It's something gas company, and they're in Pennsylvania too, Philadelphia. Perhaps we need a distribution diaphragm, thermostat, control fan heater, New Hampshire, right? Not me. I got a badass house, man. I got a combination of oil, uh, natural gas, and propane. It's got all types of redundancy in here. House is 100 years old. Now, I'd like to take credit for all that, but we'll move on from there. Thermostat sparks light. Good night, gents. Good night, Jeff. UK here. I have heater on. Cheers, Jeff. Yep. From Hermit. Iron erection. Look at that. Anyway, get sidetracked. So that's that, guys. We hit that tri-fuel. Yep. Embry. Yeah. And I got fire, and I got wood burning stove. So it's a huge. I don't know if you guys seen a couple of videos. This house is be careful what you wish for. 100 years old, and it's huge stone. It's actually a triplex with another building connected in the rear of it. You know, I'm into real estate, right? Of course, the customer must be protected from 75 psi. You know, Ricky, and that's what they did that dual. I wish I knew. So Lawrence's dual system, Lawrence, Massachusetts. Glad they put that up because I don't know how to spell Massachusetts. Massachusetts, dual, gas regulators. State Gas Company. That's the name of it. This is the true name of that company, not whatever they're calling it. Bay State Gas Company. Like I said, the guy was suing. He got all the way to federal court, and then and they threw it out because he used a name that Grimwall is using, like everyone else is using, and it's just doing business as. I'm trying to find the underground system. Here's that house. You know, they're not surrounding now, so we can't see it. That's a close-up of that another house. I just showed this one already. Right. This is so this guy's climbing out the windows. A fireman climbing in. Yeah, they broke into a house because of this situation. Interesting, right? Because now he has the right to be in there. So anything he sees that's illegal, he can now get a warrant for. That's an interesting dynamic, right? Yeah. You leave your house, you leave your drugs out inside on your counter, whatever you got going on illegal, but it's inside your house. And then the gas leak happens, and he gets to go inside your house, take a look, and next you know you got a warrant for your arrest. There's another house. See, I don't see gas meters out here. They could be on the side, etc. But it doesn't matter in my thought, unless you got a gas meter in the basement, it's not vented. And I do have a property with a gas meter in the basement that's not vented. That's in one of my properties. That's not vented to the outside. So I could clearly see that would have happened there too, that those homes up there aren't venting to the outside, with the gas meters interiorly located. And that's typical of city homes. A lot of them, the new update, yeah, but existing vented out, nope. In fact, one of them supposed to redo my meter. When they do that, I'm going to insist that they vent the pipe out. They were changing the meter. It's interior located. I don't know if I can insist that. They were like, go to hell. I'm like, I don't want to be like them. They're like, Grimley said that wasn't a problem. I'm like, all right, thank you. Not all meters have regulators. The regulators separate. A meter is a meter. So you don't need a meter, but you do need a regulator. But you'll need a meter to pay your bill. Yeah, cognitive, but again, that won't help you though. Did I already answer that? Yep, right. Now, yeah, I was just trying to think. Could you? No, I can't figure it out. Maybe Embry could. He's a meter man. Could you? If high pressure started coming in, you'd have to. So you'd have to have one of those meters. You'd have to have one of these that would read the high pressure, and then it would then kick in a shutoff valve. And this is not going to be cheap, so you're not going to get that. So what happens here is, why is this pipe narrower than this? Because you can't read the volume. It's like gas, if you will. It's hard to read, so they restrict it. Take the reading here, and it comes back out, and you still can do the same quantitative readings, exacting readings, no problem at all. That's why you see restriction here. But this could clearly also be in line with the same size pipe, but it's restricted down to get to get the flow, to get the readings, to get the vortex. That's what I meant. Yeah, it wouldn't matter though, cognitive. Yeah, but the gas comes out. Embry, I know I don't have on that property. I don't have an exterior vent pipe, but would it matter? I guess Embry, if I had a larger, stepped it right up, Embry, to instead of the 3/4 coming out or 1 inch coming out, just went right to 2 inch to predict something like this. But then again, it's a rental property of mine, so it blows up. The people get to sue the gas company for blowing up their house, and then I get a new house. So I'm not going to go crazy on that. That's a good point, cognitive. But they'll relocate it to the outside, and they leave my ass hanging with the interior connection. Should be a max pressure. Hey, Jacob. I'm curious how many of these things were clogged or vented to the inside, like the ones I told you about. They didn't have an exterior vent to it, like literally like my property I have. Maybe I'll do a video on the other channel tomorrow and share it. So the vent is for to discharge excess gas if overpressure. Right, Cognitive, but it can't do the volume. So then it blows, keeps some of it comes back into the house. I'm thinking. I mean, I'm giving you failure both ways. One is like the house I just told you about that I have, that it comes into the compartment that way. The other one is it does vent to the outside, but it can't move all that volume to the outside, so a lot of it starts building up inside. Again, all these houses you figure had build up, all of them. But isn't it amazing that no one was really home to call to say we got? Let's see, 911 gas leak calls. From Massachusetts. Come on, I'm capitalizing so they can't do it. Help me out. Help a brother out, Google. Let's see. Massachusetts gas explosion. See if we got any of them. Timeline. Oh, we don't see the 911. Okay. So isn't it amazing? No one's talking about the 911 calls yet. On all those, on all this, all of these properties had gas building up, and no one thought to call the gas company and say I got gas building up my house. But let's say they did, and the gas company, the NTSB's burying it now, the way they do shit. So the person over here called, I got gas in my house. I got gas in my house. I got gas in my house. Gas in my house. Gas in my house. And say some of these people called. They got out of the house. I got gas in my house. Gas in my house. Gas in my house. So all of these people are calling in saying gas in my house. That should immediately make you think of overpressure, that you got something going on. You got to get out here and shut the main off. So they were getting calls, you figure. I just find it amazing that all this shit was able to catch fire before they could shut off the gas. What are the odds of that? I mean, it's just amazing the amount of gas and the ignition points that had to build up 37 times. Is this 37, guys? We're up to 37. I just find it amazing too. $37 or $38, whatever, I can't miscount it. 37 times all this stuff was able to build up. That is an amazing odds of that. High pressure backup regulator is turned down. What? That still looks like just a flow meter. This is the flow meter. Yeah, that's the flow meter right where I was, not that one, obviously. The flow meter is this one, yes. This is your flow meter. This is the one that's going to be talking to the regulator in the street that we were talking about, and I think they connected both to the same thing when they dead end one. This thing said, "Hey, we don't have any flow," and perhaps instead of just saying no, that means we have no demand, somehow it said increase the pressure. Opening up probably both regulators probably opened up, since the regulator was still connected and it was a redundant regulator. It opened up also, but it went nowhere because it was dead end. Or did they complete it? Who knows? NTSB does some lying shit, as we know. Remember they said about the bridge that they finished post-tensioning the other end, number 2, when they moved on to number 11 to post-tension. Now we know that was a fucking lie by NTSB, that they never did that. Oh, incidentally, guys, I want to share with you a link to the videos, the time lapse, and it's 16 gigabytes. They sent it to me through my folder, but I can't open that son of a bitch. I've tried numerous ways to open it. it won't open. So I don't know if they sent me a red herring, that they really disclosing, but oh, it's a mistake. We'll fix it. But did I already put the link out there for that? But it takes a while to load 16 gigabytes. It's 16 gigabytes. That's obviously a lot more time lapse video in there than what they've released, than what we've seen released. And I'd love to share that with you guys so you can try to download it and we can all play with that. And maybe one of you will come through. Then how are you going to share it, right? There should have been calls from over the neighborhood, right? Yeah, well, there's a lot of leaks everywhere. They allow acceptable leaks. They do not try to. I've talked to many of the gas companies. They do not try to get they don't even have a goal to get 100% leak stoppage. So they can smell the gas there. They check it. They see the volume of it, and they're like, that one's not worth us breaking open the street for. You ever seen the trucks ride down the street with those little things hanging, those little gas sensors? And if it's not kicking up at a certain number, they're not going in there. It's allowable leaks. I don't see it happening that way. There can not be a set flow. I don't get you, Embry, with this your statement. I don't get. I can't break it down. You got to give me some more information. Would have stunk up that neighborhood. Good point, Hermit. I can split up that file into small pieces. You can, Cognitive? Yeah, you hear it? The cat screaming in the background. That's the one that drives me crazy. That's the one that the Son of Sam cat dog. That's my Son of Sam cat. Remember he said the dog made him do it? Well, this cat is driving me crazy. I can split up that file into smaller pieces. Okay, Cognitive, yeah. I don't think I have it. I got that DJI drone trying it out. It's shit, you gotta spend $600 for it on the phone to get it to work proper fully. Oh, nope, it's on my external drive. Cognitive. No, this is another job. Down here. Let's see, no. So I gave you MCM. We're changing the subject, and I don't want to keep. I'm going to keep it on this one. And maintaining set pressure. The integrated flow meter is just for documentation. Now it might, Embry, that changes that regulator. They communicate together. They should notice changes in demand. So here is this is the other company, and I'll do a video for you guys on this, where they had their interview. Remember MCM had the interview? Well, here's the other company interview.
It's on.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Before we start and any bonus points for the ultra, you will, we're at the market station. I was saying we have a cable system. The tower is about 100 feet. So, it's an important component of the structure. And when I studied FIU, I thought that maybe we should make it blue, because you use a lot of blue in your logo, and also actually with viral logo.
So you'll see here I'm talking about the blue. That's the other contractor, obviously with a heavy accent. So he's going to make the tower about 100 feet. I'm making fun, right? And remember, she said 100 feet, 109 feet based on the corner. He said a tower about 100 feet. And also, what'd you say so for, Embry? Look, we'll get back to that. I'll do that. I'll do that video for you guys on that one. That's the other contractor. We lost a bid, but the price came in about the same as current day. I have fiber internet. I can work on it open with different tools. Oh, okay. Yeah, Rick. Oh, Rick got that? You can play with it, Rick? I'll get you the link, man. I try to get you the link right here, but I don't want the link to if I put it up here, the link, my major link up here, then it might be just for me only. If you guys do it, they might kick me out. So that's why I don't share the major link. I give you the download, the backdoor download link under another way that you saw in the other videos. You guys, I hope you've been hitting them. I hope you've been hitting the other videos on that, on the on those links that I put out. I put everything I talked about. There was a link there. Multiple fires. His name is Jester Actual. Oh, damn. They went all out like that. 9/14, they jumped right on the cyber attack. Boy. Cyber attack. They got our infrastructure down to computers now. Did they think we're that badass? Man, they're not even that far into that yet. They still got this old dated shit. All right, so there you guys go. It's 10:21. We need a PID piping and instrumental diaphragm. Yes, agreed. Well, we know it goes to the whole neighborhood and Grimley. I like that. You know, like Grumley. What's that guy from Grimley, the guy from Pawn Stars, Pawn Wars, whatever it's called. Grumley. Well, that's that guy. I think of him, right? Whenever I see him, I think of him. Grumley or whatever hell his name is. I should wonder if they got a call. Yeah. So where are you going with this? Wrapping it up, and I can come back and show the other one. I got to get you got that link, Hermit. I mean, who's it? Two people here, Rick and somebody else said it. Can you guys email me? And I'll send you the link on the email. I put it out in the open, but I don't want to get pounded like that, you know, before somebody figures out how to do it. Ultimately, I want to get it first, but after you guys get it, so I can do a video on it. If I put it out in the open, man, somebody's gonna take all my hard work and take it and run, and I'll feel like a chump. You know, my alphaness won't let me do that. Chumley, that's it. Thank you, Cognitive. I think of Grimley is that way. The guy from NTSB, Grimley Wall Grimley, or whatever the frick his name is. Regulator venting, right? Why do you play with that? And we have no 911 calls. What does it say? Gas. Whatever. What do you do if you smell gas? Ring your doorbell. That way you can know if you got enough gas in your house. Ring your doorbell, light a match, go to each room, light matches, spark and get one of those sparkers, and you'll know if you got the right amount of gas concentration to start a fire. That's what you do. I'm going to close that out. We don't need to see anything dramatic like that. Oh, I don't watch it either. I just remember him though. Yep, and that's that meter. She works pretty badass. You guys want to look it up? You can look at Vortex flow measuring principle, and it will show. Oh, I haven't seen this one. Vortex using electronics. How do you get the break? That bar. I keep forgetting the name of that bar, guys. It changes the flow. It's got a name to it, and because you need that bar, but you need the bar. Or maybe they found another way to get the vortex to happen to measure it. This electronic one. This would be kind of cool ass if they did. Yeah, sorry. Oh, looks like I lost my signal, guys. That's not feeding right. Using magnets. Wow. Come on. What's up with that? Google something else, Auntie. I go down there. I try to get rid of stuff. Like, say this guy down here, right? So you right click, say not interested, and you say tell us why, and then you say I don't want to see anything from him again. And you just keep, doing that. They keep feeding me new stuff though, but not those cricket porn, crickets from earlier you guys talked about. They don't even bother showing me any of that. I don't know what's going on here. That's not working out at all. That's not working out. There's a lot of vitamin C in greens. Yeah, but we're talking about meat in this topic. It's something else. Another topic I'm on. We're not talking about greens. You need your vitamin C. I want you guys to that one. All right, so that's not. You guys might not even be there. Hello, Daniela. Where you been, girl? I hope you don't take offense to this. Are you naked? Okay, so how could we protect ourselves against this sort of thing? I don't think you can. Just have good insurance. Don't leave your cat at home because he might get blown up. Used to use orifice plates before vortex meters. Okay, there we go, Embry. It's nearly over, I think. Yeah. Wait a minute. Address. Hard eyes. Hard eyes. So you're wearing a dress and hard eyes. Well, thank you. Asking the important questions. Yeah, that's right, Hermit. Are you naked? No panties, if you must know. That's what I'm talking about. I don't have any panties on either. That makes both of us. Here we go. They make me want to say a joke. I'm filming this naked. Of course I'm not. I remember one time though, I went to this thing's taking forever to load. I went to out in California, hot springs out there, and you go in there naked. Well, the first time I went there years before, this lady called the fossil lady. I'm there enjoying myself naked. I'm hanging out with my man. We're naked here, waiting for some girls to show up, and we get lucky. The fossil lady shows up, and like one of them VW buses. She gets out. Oh my gosh, she's huge. She is huge. But I can't help it. That's the way I'm built. I'm just watching, right? Oh yes, she takes off her clothes in front of us. She puts on a towel. Then she takes off the towel. And she walks over and gets into the thing, the fossil lady. I never forgot her. She's traumatized me for the rest of my life. So the fossil lady. Well, I went back there years later with my girl. We're in there. I take her to that place and I tell her about. She knows about the fossil lady. I said, I hope she doesn't show up here. She doesn't show up. Shows up as a couple of visitors from England. A couple of girls, and they were this one guy who was a tour guide. There was actually 3 girls and the tour guide, the guy. Anyway, my girl's not naked though. I'm naked. I'm not naked either at that point. been part of the thing there, and they all have on their swimming gear also. And so they're talking about they came here and they read that people are naked in these hot springs and all that. I was like, oh yeah, well, when I go to the other hot springs, it's only a few feet away, right? It's like 100 yards away. We go there. I tell my girl, hope you don't mind. They're from England, and they were expecting to see somebody naked in the hot springs. So she just smiled at me, knowing how bad I am. So yep, I dropped all my clothes, walked over there, arms spread wide open, and raised it to the air, and walked in there. Well, you should have seen the smiles on those girls' face. They were so happy. They got to see somebody naked in the hot springs. So yeah, fossil lady. Nope, she wasn't old. Yeah, so that made their day. But I wonder, this fossil lady, you just made me think, Danielle, is she actually? Oh, okay. Fossil lady in hot springs. It was California. I wonder if somebody actually, because she had it on the side of. How do I know her name? On the side of a van. It says a fossil lady on the side of her van. I never thought to do this. Fossil lady van. I guess she's not up to date with her. Well, that's weird. I spell fossil right? Oh, fossil is a watch, isn't it? Fossil lady. Nope. So no luck on the hot springs with the fossil lady. Hot springs in California map. So no luck on the Pine Flats. It was by a dam, believe it or not, a quarry. I'm starting to remember now. It was kind of weird. This hot springs out of nowhere. Like, go up there, trust me. And I followed it. Anyway, that's enough of that. I got a video for you. Oh no, you're gonna show me something freaky, man. I'm a virgin. All right, send it on. There, that's right. That word there. The same at Hoki, Japan, but it was winter time. Oh, cool! You did that, Rick. You wave your hands out in the air, go in there proudly. Hey, it's only a dick. I got a video for you. What do you got? Send it over, Tom. Where is it? Where's that video? Wow, look at this hot springs. Nope, it wasn't a resort. Okay, hot springs. California was another one too. This one was awesome. I spent hours in hot springs in California. By mills. No. I mean hot springs. You'd go in, not damn location hot springs. How do you say hot springs in another word? Sauna, but it's not a sauna. I used the word hot, and that didn't help us. Hot springs in California by one. Hot springs in California map. That was useless. Hot springs, man. I'd want to own one of these places. They're so nice. I considered that, thinking about that, man. I would just stay in these things. Every couple of them are for sale. I would just stay there. All right, so it was Southern California. What the hell? I want to go there. Look at that crazy place. There was nothing organized like that. It was literally in rocks and everything else. Let's try this one. Nope. Nope. I didn't work the right way. It was up this weird branch road, not that far in. It's over here. 3 or whatever road goes here on the backside of Sierra. I'm starting to remember now. Needles, yep, Needles. I don't think it was 95. It was more like this 10 thing. 17. Wait a minute. I'm still in California. I'm in Arizona. Henderson did all this stuff. Death Valley. This one here looks like a long road. Oh, I love Lone Pine. I think we got it. Interesting, but that's not it. Or is it close by to that? Bishop. Guys, look up Lone Pine. It's the highest point in the United States. I'm not counting Alaska. Lone Pine. That's Big Pine. Lone Pine right here. It's not too far out of there. These damn hot springs. Well, it's not too far relative. Like freaking 3 hours. All right, what do you got for me? Let me go to the video. Geothermal. Oh, good thinking. Let me write that. Geothermal. Margaret Thatcher, naked on a cold day. Shoot. Danielle Shy. They won't let me send it. Put it over here, Tom. They didn't turn off the gas for an hour because they thought it was a plane crash. Shit. Off. Oh, yeah. That's interesting. Okay, cool, Rick. Thanks. Hey, yeah, she was, man, she was something else. The VW bug pulling up on that. What the hell happened there? The VW bug. It didn't pop up yet, Rick. It should have. I think it would. Oh no, I don't have mail open. No. Oh. See, this one's. I don't remember this. I know there was some. Oh, I think this was the abandoned hot springs, and then they somebody must have fixed it. I think when I got there, it was just an open pit. There's your geothermal. That's my man. Just said it too. Yeah, it was an open pit. Now look at this damn thing, a pool. What? Retreat starts at $115 a night. Oh no. Oh, this was the open pit. Yeah, it's something cheap like that, right? And you go in there and they give you access. $7. That's all she costs. Sycamore Mineral Springs. Yeah, when I go out west, man, I hit the hot springs. I haven't been there. This is the one. I went to this one too. So it was weird. You go in. Well, it's got a sunroof. I haven't done that. Shit, look at that. Yeah, oats. Yeah, there's one like this. You go in there and the hot spring is just hot water. Man, it's beautiful. That's the best thing out of California. I can't find it. My girl. So he said thermal springs. Geothermal. Redundant. Hot Springs. How's that? Hot Springs Wikipedia. Oh, that sort of. You guys got some in United Kingdom? Uh-oh. Did the ones out there, man, it was nice. The ones in Arkansas, I didn't go in. They were pretty much abandoned. They're what they did back in the 30s and things like that. People would come there and get their enemas and things like that. It was amazing. They get to see the tables they had set up. You can imagine those rich people all, getting their heinies cleaned. Arkansas. But that was pretty worn out little town. California. Okay, there we go. Nope. 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 Not sure. Nope. See, I think it's this keel, this one here. This keeps coming up in my brain. Yeah, that's about right, isn't it? That's it. That's it. Just out in the woods, man. This one's just right there. Out in the damn woods. Bishop. Yep, Bishop. 128, 1 minute. Yep, that's the view from the hot springs. You're in there. There's some windmills there. It's beautiful. Roads are way down here. People might be behind you across the road. It's like you literally park on the road, then there's this like a damn ditch. And then, yeah, like a car like that. And then you jump in. Hell, this person might be right where I was. Let's see. Sort of damn hot springs. Yeah, that's everything you're looking at around you. Oh, and you can't go up and pay to I didn't do it. I think it's up the road further. A swimming pool type deal. Hot springs. I just got into Nature Boy stuff, the real deal. None of this shit's playing. Yeah, they're in that long. There's one longer one there. I dominated that. You know how you dominate it? You guys tell you how you dominate hot springs. See what he's got on his pants? His pants there? No other guy wants to see another guy butt naked. I stand up. How you doing? You don't want his girlfriend looking at you naked. So off they go away. And you get to keep the hot spring to yourself for free. Yeah, because they're too homophobic. They're worried about that. So, yeah. It's pretty as hell. It comes on one side, goes out the other side. All right, Keel. Yeah, that's the one. All right, where are we at here? We're jumping around here. Now we're, yep, watch it when you get time. Yeah, well, I reside in Florida. You can buy postcards with beaches, whales, fossil lady. Oh, man, we got to find a fossil lady. Bath, you okay? They're lukewarm these days, I think. We're a long way from the ring of fire. Oh, hey, so you just said something. If I know a fossil lady thing. So she wasn't Kehoe. It was one more that she was from. That fossil, I'd like to see her ass. Not literally, but nope. It's like a dam. It's by a dam. Like a rock thing like this. Oh, and you can see, literally see in the background the Sierra Mountains. Freaking beautiful. You know, coming from Philadelphia, we don't see Sierra Mountains, right? Nope. I had another girl taking me one in Colorado. That was nice. Nope. What? Over. See, it was dangerous as hell, like this, with the rocks in it. This is Coyle National Forest. Mercer. Miracle. I can't remember the name of it. I always stumble across it every time I go there. All right. So we played with that. I've been in the aqua. Where's that? Where's that Tom? Oh. Huh, Tom. I wonder if that's what she had in mind. Where's this? I'm gonna open up. Hey, Rick, I'm gonna open up your thing here, man. Hope you let's see something here. Should show your mail at the top. There you go, Rick. Didn't want to show everybody everything. But let's see this one. Rick, yours gonna pop open. Shit. It's telling me to write you back. Damn, Rick. Okay. Oh, you just wrote me saying send to you. Oh, okay. I thought you had it. Near Mexico. All right, so it's 10:47. I'll tell you what I'll do for everybody's here. I'll get that link up and I'll share with you, but then I'm gonna make this whole video. I was gonna say I'll make the whole video private, but we got the pipeline stuff. I'm gonna bounce out of here, guys. I'm gonna start a new video. So I'm gonna hang up on this. I'll start a new video, and let's see if you guys can open up this damn thing. So let me stop this. But I'm gonna come right back. So in a new video, new live feed with the link, and you guys can try to open this damn video of the bridge collapse that I got from the FOIA request, and I'll share that link. But let's let this one stay as it is, and I'll